One. Greetings, everyone. George Lamie here from Sea of Tranquility, and welcome to another episode of Ranking the Albums. Yep. Even our ranking ringmaster needs a little time off once in a while, so I stepped into the void, and in order for me to get through it, I invited my good friend from the Hudson Valley Squares, Mr. Rob Lisanti. What's up, Rob?
What's up, guys, gals, people?
Rob is battling the six, but he's a trooper, so
Yeah.
he's decided to jump in with me on a pretty damn good prog metal band, wouldn't you say, Rob?
Oh, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
this it's funny that because I was thinking about when I was doing my research again and listening over these albums. It's been a while since I listened to them, and not to say they're not good or anything. I there's so much music always I'm listening to,
Yeah.
and but it's like nice to revisit stuff. So,
Absolutely. As
definitely.
soon as you start listening to them, all those melodies come back in. You're like, ah, yeah.
Oh yeah, now I know why I got this. Exactly.
Well, for background for people, we're doing the band Darkwater today. They are out of Sweden, established in 2003. They got a short discog, 3 albums, but we thought it was important to do because they're a band that needs more pub. So I picked him, and Rob was more than willing. He's a guy I knew liked him. So why don't you jump in, Rob, and give us your number three?
All right. Well, my number three is going to be wait, hold on a minute. Did it come on? Don't tell me it didn't work.
After we tested.
Oh, you're kidding me. Didn't I just test it a second ago?
You absolutely did.
Oh no.
I can hold them up. I pulled hard copies
I don't get it.
if
I
you don't
don't
have
get
it.
it. No, I just
It's showing in this thing, right?
have it in my thing, but it's for some reason. Oh God. Oh wait, hold on. Refresh app. Oh, now I see what happened. Give me a second, people. Let's see what happens. This is what you deal with Prezi.
See what happens when the boss doesn't show up?
And it still doesn't want to work. All right, well, you know what? Uh I'll have George show you to them. I have one of the albums actually physically. So my number three is going to be Where Stories End. And yes, that one, which is 58 minutes long. It was released in 2010. Was actually the second album of the three. And I like this album quite a bit, but I don't like them as much as the other two. And I don't know exactly why. I mean, the keys are great. Everything's great about the album. Um, I just feel that something changed in this album. Maybe it's not as melodic as the other two. And when was re-listening to the three albums, I noticed that I was going back to the other two albums more. You know what I mean? And I mean, not, again, I don't think it's bad, but I don't think it's as good as the other two. Some of the highlights for me, oh God, I can't even read these now. There's the opening track, great keys, great guitars. The fourth track, I can't read this. The Fool's Utopia, Queen of the Night, Fields of Sorrow. Those are all my favorite tracks on this album. Uh, again, musicianship, um, George was talking about these guys. These guys have been around since 2007. So almost 20 years they've been around, but they only have 3 albums out. And but when these guys get together on a record, I have to tell you, it's unbelievable. And of course, Henrik Beth, the singer, he's incredible. I would compare this band also. I know we didn't talk about this yet. I would say, and if you like Circus Maximus, if you like Evergrey, if you like Volbeat, bands like that, Camelot, very close to that melodic metal, but with a little progressive edge to it. Not overly progressive, but not, you know what I mean? A little bit of both.
Banging
And
plots.
that was my reason why I love these guys so much.
Yeah.
Because there was a lot of melody to the songs. So that's going to be my number three. Um,
Well, we'll go back and forth.
okay, yeah, you go.
My number three is the most recent. Human,
Human.
2019. Um, Let me say right out in front, this is totally splitting hairs. I love all three of these albums. They're all 4.5 or 5. They just don't do bad songs. It's just not a thing. There's like a little intro on the first album. It's like 30 seconds. It's not even a song. And there's an intro on this. That's about a minute and a half for another song. They're not really songs to me. Other than that, every song this band's ever made is good. Um, for me, the strengths of the band are the singer, Henrik Bath. He's got a great, great tone. And when he wants to, he can belt, but he's not really a belter. And guitar player Marcus Sigfridsson, this guy has got an incredible sound. If you get into this band, that is something that is in store for you. His production values are through the roof. Their records sound great. And this one's no exception. Kickoff track, A New Beginning. That's one of my favorite tunes. Melody sticks in your head. The Journey is another one, really good tune. And probably Turning Pages. That's probably my favorite. That's the epic of the album, or no, second place epic. It's almost 10 minutes. Um, One thing that sets this album apart is that it's longer than the other two considerably, that 76 minutes.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel long, but maybe that's subconsciously why I don't like it as much as the other two. I don't know what plays into it. It probably just has maybe one less track that jumps out at me, and I was splitting hairs, so it's my number 3, Human. Rob?
All right, so number two, this was hard. Number two is hard because one and two are very close for me, very
Mhm.
close. But I'm gonna have to give number two to what you just said is Human. I have a signed copy here. If you can get it in there. Yeah. I'm trying to get it. There you go. Well, yeah, you can see it there. Actually, wait a minute. You want to laugh? I have two. I have two copies. That's how much I love this album. If I can get the other one, I can't get them more. There you go. One is signed, one's not. I actually reached out to Henrik, the vocalist, and asked about getting a signed copy, and he said no problem. But I already ordered the other one, so I
Yes.
bought another one just so I could have it signed. So this album, as you just said, is a little bit longer. Came out in 2019. Jacob Hansen, this was his yeah, I mean, if you guys don't know who Jacob Hansen is, he's a producer. He mixes and masters this album. He does a lot of albums, especially Evergrey, one of my favorite bands that you guys probably know if you follow our channel. Volbeat, but a lot of different bands. I mean, Jacob's been around a long time. He's a great guy. And as George just said, I think everything on this album, I love pretty much every single song. Um, Especially the epics. I think they're really good. The Alive Part One and Two are superb. I really like those. How New Beginning opens up is great. The whole album is really, really good. Um, I would say again, if you like melodic rock and metal, uh, all the instruments, everybody does a great job on these songs. Guitar work, the keys for the atmosphere. Of course, Henrik's vocals are superb. Actually, he's probably in my top 20 vocalists, especially in this genre, because he's unbelievable. I really, really melodic. And again, like I said, if you guys like Circus Maximus, Symphony X, stuff like that, you're gonna enjoy this. You really got to give it a chance. Um, so that's gonna be my number two.
Nice. And number 2 is Where Stories End. 2011. This one, when it hit, I noticed I was jamming with a guy at the time, and he thought it was less adventurous. I don't know about that. Maybe there's a couple tunes that it sounds like they were trying for hooks, but not like pop hooks, just more, chorus leaning type songs. I don't think it's a minus at all. I think it's a strength. One of the songs that is like that was the first single, video song, Breathe. If you like that song, you're gonna be on board with this whole album. It's a really good song.
Mm.
The follow-up, Why I Bleed, that's my favorite tune on the album. It's a great, great song. Into the Cold also. That first three is killer. Um, the thing with Henrik Bath, yeah, he's got a great physical voice, but also the melodies. It sounds like he spends a lot of time crafting the right melodies because they really stick with you. I will say, if you're the kind of person that is on the outskirts of progressive metal, you think, too noodly, this could be the band for you because they're not really about soloing. There's no like interludes a la Dream Theater, trades, all that stuff. You don't have that. You have solos on songs, but there's no ostentatious displays or anything. They're about tunes. Queen of the Night is another one of my favorites. But again, every song on this album is good. Um, whatever reasons, it's just edged out Human and just came in second. So Where Stories Ends, my number two. Rob?
Cool. Well, my number one, of course, is going to be Calling the Earth to Witness. Came out in 2007. That's the debut for the Darkwater guys from Sweden. The bassist on that album left on the second album when they got what's his name? Simon Anderson, who came
And
from Pain of Salvation.
that's the only lineup change in their history.
That's the only lineup change. Simon from Anderson from his ex Pain of Salvation. He joined the band on the second album, and then of course he's on the third album.
Yep.
Again, like just to echo what George was talking about, uh, this band when I first discovered them when this came out, and I was especially at this time, I was listening to a lot of progressive metal, a lot of it, and I remember hearing about these guys, and I says I got to check this out, and also and just to say for people that do follow this kind of music, they did play Prague Power last year, along with a bunch of other great bands from from Europe. Um, and I think they unfortunately they don't tour the United States. A lot of these bands don't. Unfortunately, I wish they did, but they don't. And but they do tour in Europe a lot. So, but when I first heard this album, I was really impressed, I have to say. Um, I was just expecting another clone band or whatever, but really not. I mean, this starts off with a very cool uh, intro, a lot of keys on the intro and stuff, and it's very you could tell you're getting ready for something when you hear the keys coming in and everything, and then it just takes off. And then the second song, it's got a little bit of a Dream Theater vibe, but very just a little bit. You know what I mean? Setting
Mhm.
you up for the for that track, and then every track. I mean, like George was saying, the next three songs are just killer songs. Again, you can hear influences in their music, but yet, and what George was talking about is they don't. It's not like if you guys listen to Dream Theater and stuff like that, they're not doing a lot of trade-offs, but they are doing a lot of melodies. And I have to say, I like the second to last track. Great acoustic opening, great atmosphere again, getting you set up, and then they just it just moves along and it keeps your interest. You get some flows in there where it's really heavy, and then you get some flows where it gets really mellow. And but you never lose interest. That's the thing about them that I find. I mean, I never lose interest listening to the songs. I don't skip to the next song or whatever. I listen to all the songs in a row. And that's what I like about this band so much. I wish they would, you know, George and I were talking, I wish they would do more, albums, but I guess, it's hard for them, they have lives, you know. So not all bands can do, it could be Dream Theater, and make that kind of money and just tour all the time, Unfortunately, the music business that's the way it is. But if you're really interested in great music and you're into this kind of music, you definitely need to check out this band, Darkwater, for sure. They don't get enough love.
Yeah, absolutely. It's my number one as well. Um, it's strange for me because my normal process is I will download stuff first and I give it three listens usually. And by then I know what, if I want to go make a purchase. And at the end of three listens, I still hadn't clicked in with this, which doesn't make any sense because it's not like super complicated or anything. But I gave it one more listen before I deleted the files and I was in, man. Just this album, this is a five for me. All Eyes on Me, incredible. Um, my favorite song though, the Play 2. That goes back to the MySpace days where you had a song in your player on your page. That was the song in the player on my page for a long time. I
Hmm.
really dig that tune. And then the next one, Shattered. So good. I mean, Henrik, I follow you said he was in your top 20. He's in my top five. I followed that guy around. Like I got the Waken Eyes album. He did a project called Waken Eyes. I got that.
Oh
He
yeah,
did a,
that's right.
he did a side band with the guitar player called Harmony, which is more straight power metal. I got one
Right.
of the ones that he's on with that. So this is a dude. Well, I will check in just to hear him. And I wanted to tout the keyboard player too. Not so much for his playing, maybe, but the patches are incredible. They really set a mood. And yeah, for the choices he makes with what he does and the patch that he chooses for the parts of the song, I think he does probably an underappreciated job for creating their sound. I mean, it's really, really good. Uh, I mean, I would tell anybody to get any of these albums, but if you're just going to get one, me and Rob agree, apparently, that this one is the best. And if you like progressive metal, there is no chance that you won't like these guys. I've tried to bring him up to Pete a couple of times, but he's got so many things in his queue. It's one of those things he's not going to get around to until he does. And then he's going to be like, oh, what was I waiting for? He's going to like him. You know he is.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of other bands like this that we could talk about maybe in the future and that people should really know about because sometimes, I'll give you an example. And one of our fellow SOT alumni, Scott Berry, he didn't really know much about Evergrey, and I had reviewed the last album, and he went out and he got it, and now he told me he got like 4 or 5 discs already of them. He says he's
Yeah.
loving it. So again, it's something that sometimes people don't know. It's they don't if they're not searching for it or they're not really, it might be in their wheelhouse, but they don't know about it because nobody's mentioned it. So that's what we're trying to do here.
Maybe they take the band name or they take the genre and they just put it in a box like, well, I don't really like a lot of prog metal. But this is a prog metal band I think that people don't listen to a lot of prog metal will like because it's not all soloistic, you know?
Right. It's not like again, it's not overcomplicated. It's just
Right.
got great melodies, great riffing, great singing, atmospheric. You got all those things, and then and you package it, and you got yourself a great band and a great album.
It's got some tropes. I mean, it's got a lot of odd meter. It's got long songs, but they hide it well. I mean, the songs don't feel long, and the odd meter is not in your face obvious. They're not accenting the five and the seven all the time.
Right.
So I don't know. Highest recommendation for me. They're my top five favorite bands probably in rock-based music. So I can't recommend them enough.
Well, they're definitely one of my favorite bands in the last 20 years. That's for sure. I
Yeah.
mean, like I said, I bought all their albums. I always look and see what they're up to. I'm hoping that they're working on something, for the future. I haven't reached out to any of the guys lately, but I think Marcus, if I'm not mistaken, he did an album too. He did a solo album. I think I have it. I can't think of the name of it though on the top of my head. I should have looked it up. But
Yeah, I think
if I find it, I'll put it in the comment section.
he did do some side thing, I think. I never heard
I'm
it, but
pretty sure he did. I think it has a wolf on it or something, a red wolf. I
these
can't think of
guys, you know, they're musicians. They want to work, but they
it.
don't always have label support or seed money. It ain't so easy to just keep being able to put albums out. So
Yeah.
and they're not skimping on the production. These records sound great.
Oh, no. I mean, again, like I said, Jacob Hansen is one of the best producers in the business, especially for those bands over in Europe, and he does an amazing job on these albums.
I thought he just mastered. I think they record in their place and they do
Well,
all those.
he mixed and mastered
Yeah, they're all listed as produced
Human.
by Darkwater.
The other one, I think, the one before that, before Human, I'm not sure. The
I think
first
they're
one, I don't know if he did the first one, but I
I
know
think
he
they're
did the other.
self-produced.
Yeah.
But
No.
they, actually, I would say Calling the Earth to Witness in particular is one of my favorite produced sounds ever. I think it just sounds pristine. I mean,
Yeah.
incredible. But I'm interested to see what you guys think. If you know them, put what you think of the albums in the comments. If you don't know them, check them out and see. I mean, I know Mr. Gary Joyce is going to check them out and tell us what he thinks, but other people should too. Don't let Gary be the only adventurer, right?
Exactly.
So, thanks for checking in, everybody. Check out this great, great band. Throw them some support. Visit us on the web at seaoftranquility.org. We're on Facebook. We're on YouTube. All the
All the
damn.
damn time.
Please subscribe if you haven't already and click on the notification bell. And please do hit the like button. Also down below, we got links to our merch page, Cameo page, Ko-Fi page, SOT membership options. Thanks for your support, and we'll see you soon.